Thank you, Lisa, for that divine start. At Podar College, we have always been dedicated to fostering intellectual growth and shaping well-rounded personalities. We firmly believe that education is not merely about acquiring knowledge. It is about transformation and preparing individuals for the challenges of the real world. The vision resonates deeply with the objective of NEP 2020, which seeks to revolutionize education and empower students to face the dynamic demands of the society. Today, as we discuss the exciting shift from school to higher education under the NEP 2020, let's remember Nelson Mandela's word. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. At Podar, we already embrace the NEP, making it an integral part of our success. This is truly the need of an hour, and we are ready to lead the way in the new era of education. We don't want you to fear this change, but to embrace it with an open heart and mind, for it's an opportunity that will shape your futures in ways you cannot yet imagine. With this, let me now request our esteemed guest, Dr. Sonali Pednekar, our principal, Professor Vinita Pimple, Vice Principal, Dr. Major Madhav Gavande, and our librarian, Mr. Santosh Patil, to please come on the stage. The School Connect 2.0 initiative, launched by the Maharashtra government under the NEP 2020 framework, aims to bridge the gap between secondary and higher education. This program is specifically designed for students, particularly the junior college, to equip them with crucial information about academic opportunities, career pathways, and skill development initiatives. It strives to raise awareness about the ever-evolving educational landscape and highlight the vast range of opportunities available through NEP 2020. As we delve deeper into today's discussion, you'll gain a clear understanding of the exciting opportunities and the transformation under NEP. With this, we will now move forward, and it's time to honor our esteemed guest for the day, Dr. Sonali Pednekar. I may now invite our principal, Professor Vinita Pimple, to please felicitate her with a token of appreciation. Thank you, ma'am. With this, let me now invite our dynamic and inspiring principal, Dr. Vinita Pimple, to share her words of wisdom with us.
Thank you, Karishma. Welcome to Podar. I think you are all Podar students and a part of Podar family. This particular session which we have been taking today is to introduce the new education policy to all of you. Now when we talk about Podar has a legacy of more than 80 years. In that legacy, we have students who have become writers, we have students who have become cricketers, that means they are good at sports, they are good at cultural, and along with CA, they have been doing all these things. Today I met a girl of SYBCom. She came up with a medal. She has won her chess competition. She had her SYBCom mark sheet in her hand with all O grade from semester 1, 2, 3 and 4. So along with sports, that child is being good at her studies too. But till now we never gave her any grade or any credit for the work which she did in her academics. So now with the new NEP coming, with the NEP which is there, the entire system or the structure has changed into a lovely structure where whatever we wanted to do can be done. Not only having a collaboration with our college, you can go and do some courses which you want to do in other colleges also, and that will be added to your structure. Along with that, now we have a bank of credit, that is called as Academic Bank of Credit. You all must have got an APAR ID, is it? All of you in the 12th standard and the 11th standard or the school would have got an APAR ID. That is what is the ABC ID. So all your credits which you acquire through different courses, maybe we have certain courses like yoga, you may have certain courses like language, Hindi, Marathi, Sanskrit which we have in Podar, or maybe a child wants to take up some other courses from other programs also. All that will be accumulated in the bank which is called as Academic Bank, ABC, Academic Bank of Credit. This is one thing which was there, and now we are adding different other maybe aspects to our study also. So now we have moved from just acquiring a certificate, acquiring knowledge, we have started learning. We have become more of problem solvers, we will become more of creative thinkers, and that's what is wanted today. We have with us today Sonali Madam, who will be talking a lot about NEP and will even talk about scholarships and other incentives which are given by the government. Welcome all to Kodda. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for the words of wisdom. Now, it's with the great pleasure and utmost respect that I introduce our distinguished speaker, Dr. Sonali Pednekar. She's telling only one sentence, but that's okay. Just one. Our esteemed speaker, Dr. Sonali Pednekar, the esteemed principal of Mulund College of Commerce. With over 4 decades of experience, Dr. Pednekar is a beacon of visionary leadership, compassion, and unwavering commitment to excellence in academia. Dr. Pednekar is a passionate researcher with a keen focus on the history of Marathas and pre-modern Maharashtra. Her journey has been nothing short of inspiring. As she often says, a great leader doesn't just teach, she inspires, transforms, and empowers others to achieve the impossible. These words are a true reflection of her remarkable leadership and influences. With this, let me now welcome an inspiring leader, a dedicated academic, a passionate historian. Thank you so much. All yours. I will request
Namaskar and good afternoon to everybody. Principal, Professor Dr. Vinita Pimple Madam, colleagues from Kodda College, my dear students, parents, and all of you who are here to understand what School Connect 2.0 is all about. Just to give you a peek into what I'm going to say. I'm going to start by saying that I was welcomed right now as a guest into Kodda College, but I would like to change that. I am family to the SP Mandal. I studied in your neighboring college. I owe a lot to that neighboring college that has given me my life, my family. So I'm very much at home in these surroundings. I am also, the introduction was talking about me being a person practicing and inspiring person teaching history. But that actually puts a lot of pressure on me. You know, I have a lot of pressure for 2 reasons. It's like 1:30, almost 1:30 in the afternoon. And I'm supposed to be talking about what is going to be happening in the next few years in education of Indians. And I'm talking to people who are young, obviously not of my generation. So I hope I'm able to establish that connect and share with you some things. I belong to the millennial generation. You belong to the what? Gen Z? Is that right? And we're talking about an age where children born now, and this year onwards, are going to be Gen Beta. So how do we stride over 3 generations? And that's what I'm going to take you through. You see here is the slide that talks about this being a workshop. The workshop for the School Connect 2.0 has been conceptualized by the Government of Maharashtra, the Department of School and Higher School Education, of which all of you as the 11th and 12th standard students are a part of, and the University of Mumbai. It's been put together in collaboration with all these 3 because everybody realizes the need to let all stakeholders involved in this leap into the next generation of education understand what they are going through. Is there a way I can change the slide, please? You need to do it? Okay. Okay. Right. So I'm just talking about what NEP 2020 focuses on. NEP is National Education Policy, launched in August 2020 as a policy document. Thereafter, a lot of institutions across India began to work towards how to implement this or how to run it through educational institutions across India. And in Maharashtra, particularly in the University of Mumbai, it was 2023 that colleges which were autonomous in nature were the ones to first lead the way into implementing NEP 2020. So colleges like yours or colleges like mine did it in 2023. We are now into the 2nd year. Next year will be our 3rd year. For colleges who are still under the affiliated status, they have implemented it from the academic year 2024. So it's their 1st year. But there are 5 pillars on which this NEP rests. And what is it? It talks about it's making education affordable to all. So it's talking about affordability, accessibility, that means large number of young children should be able to afford and have access to higher education. Quality, obviously everybody wants that whatever education we receive should be of a good standard and good quality. The 4th is equity and accountability. We need to be also accountable, just as you need to be accountable. Parents, all stakeholders in the system of education need to be accountable. For any system to work well, we should be able to ask questions. We should be able to identify the weaker areas and refine those and turn the weaknesses into our strengths. And that's where all parents, students, society at large, employers, educationists like us, institutions, universities, all of us have to join hands to make this happen. So when NEP 2020 focuses on all of this, this is what it talks about. We all know that India has always been a knowledge society. We also know that India has been a superpower of knowledge. All of us here, everybody sitting here, you agree with me that you are all Indians? Anyone who is not an Indian here? Born in India, raised in India, right? So all of us through our lives have heard one comment, either in college or at home, in family, in society, in circles that we move in. बहुत बड़ी लेगेसी है अपने देश की और अपने देशवासियों की, right? Rich cultural heritage बहुत है अपने देश में, सीखने जैसा, करने जैसा, so much of literature. Everybody agrees with all of this, but if I have to ask young students here,
What is it that you identify as your legacy? सोच में पड़ जाओगे. बोल पाओगे? Anybody can tell me? एक चीज ऐसे बोलो that this is our legacy. This is what I'm proud about. We all know Indian cultural heritage is something that we're all proud about. What is it? Few items that we can talk about, and then we are thinking about it. It doesn't come at the top of our mind immediately. सोचना पड़ता है. So why is that सोचना पड़ता है? Why are we not really prepared to talk about what is our legacy, what is the rich culture that we have, and what is the rich culture we need to take ahead to the Gen Beta? Right? Because they are going to be born in a generation where they will grow up and start their schooling from ChatGPT. When did you learn about ChatGPT? You learned about ChatGPT maybe in the last few years, late high school years. I learned about it almost to the fag end of my career. But this generation that's born now is going to go into school knowing that there is ChatGPT. Right? So how are we going to transmit this knowledge? We need to transmit this huge legacy that we have to the next generation that needs to be equally proud about our heritage. That is what NEP 2020 will focus upon. Alright. Now when I'm talking about this rich heritage that we had, and we're talking about how much of knowledge that existed in India, we also know that there were some very renowned universities that flourished in India and which attracted a lot of foreign students. For the last 40-50 years in India, we see a reverse trend. Students from India moving out to foreign universities. So what NEP 2020 wants to do is not only make you realize what our cultural value is, but to share our cultural heritage and richness of that heritage with the worldwide persons so that India again becomes a global study destination. People should come back to India because there is so much that India still has to offer students from all over the world. Right? So what focus areas are in NEP, and you will see this side of the slide. The first one is student centricity. That means now the students are at the center of the entire ecosystem of education. How is it different? Principal ma'am just touched upon and saying that all of you have APAR IDs and there will be a bank. All of you are commerce students, you all know this. You go to a bank to deposit money. The money can come from various sources. It comes into your account because somebody decides that this belongs to you. And then you feel rich because now I've got money from all sources and this is all mine. Don't you think we need to follow something similar when we talk about education? When education comes to us from all sources and you feel enriched that now this is all mine. So that's where the student-centric education system comes in. And that's where the academic bank of credits come. So now what's going to happen is, there's going to be a shift from an exam-oriented, mark-oriented system of education to a more holistic education where you will be earning credits for whatever you do. And whatever credits you earn, those credits get deposited into your academic bank as your credits for you to keep. So now that means that is the focus of what the students are going to be doing and what the students need to understand. Multidisciplinary is something that was always something very needed. All commerce students have said a big bye-bye to physics, chemistry, mathematics, history, languages when you came into a commerce stream. But there would be somebody who wants to pursue commerce education but also enjoys studying about plants, you enjoy gardening, you want to know more about how these flowers bloom. There may be somebody like you saw in the street play that was shown to you, there would be somebody that the street play showed that the class was of either IT or computer science, they were teaching Java. And then there comes a student that says, I want to read Pula Deshpande's Vyakti and Valli. So there can be students like that who are interested in literature, who want to do a little bit more of reading. It could be Hindi, English, Marathi, or any other literature. So can this happen? Yes, it can happen with NEP 2020. And for you, very easily, you have a neighboring college with whom you can join hands. So I will take you through that as well. But what I want to emphasize is a multidisciplinary. Please go back to the earlier slide if possible. Don't change till I tell you. Okay. Point number 3 is about equity and inclusion. Let's all understand that everybody sitting in this audience today is very privileged and very blessed. Because you are students of a prestigious college in the heart of Mumbai, you have everything that given to you by your parents to allow you to receive good education. There are so many, more than 50% of people who are as old as you, who are not a part of the mainstream education because they can't afford it, because they have other commitments, because their family requires their attention, because they need to be earning, or simply because they don't have the kind of academic records that are required to be in the mainstream education. So the NEP 2020 wants to, in the next 10 years, increase the gross enrollment ratio to 50%. Now what does that mean? It means that more than 50% of children are still outside of the system, and we want at least 50% of the children of this age to come into the system. So the GER has to be increased by up to 50 in the next 10 years. And there are so many who are out of the system because, as I said, societal pressures do not allow them to be in. Economic demands are so high that they cannot come into education. So these are the SEDGs, that is socio-economically deprived groups. And we want that people belonging to these socio-economically deprived groups should also come into mainstream education. Now, mainstream education does not necessarily mean arts, science, commerce, because that's the barrier we want to break. And the street play was talking about it. They were trying to break down a wall. The wall that compartmentalizes our education into arts, science, and commerce. So we want to make it multidisciplinary, we want to make it open for all, we want everybody to realize their individual latent potentials and exploit them to the best, to be able to be employable, to be able to generate an income for themselves and maintain a family. Internationalization is another point of focus area for NEP. When you talk about internationalization, it's whether our students go out or foreign students come in. There should be a healthy exchange of Indians and non-Indians, residents from different parts of the world. And here I would like to tell you, every one of us who aspires to go abroad for studies, every one of you young children here who aspire to go abroad will know that for any foreign university, you require to have 16 years of education. Am I right? Do you know that? 16 years of education needs to be done. Now, what's the system we have today? All of you are in a system of 10 plus 2 plus 3, making it 15 years. How do you reach the 16 mark? So, you either do your 2 years of post-graduation or you do 1 year of post-graduation and then apply, because that completes your 16 years. Now, what's the system that's going to be now introduced? We are breaking away from the 10 plus 2 plus 3 and we are going into a 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 or 4. So, students sitting here in front of me, answer me this question please. 10 plus 2 plus 3, so your 10 began at what level? Where do you start your counting of 10? What is year 1 for 10? Class 1, grade 1, yes, everybody agrees? So that's why you go to 10th standard and you do 10. Have you have never been to a school before grade 1? You have? On an average, there will be students who have done at least 4 years before that, or minimum 3 years before that. You've done, for those who have done playgroup, you go to a playgroup, but what is playgroup? Playgroup is also education, you are socializing. You're learning to socialize, you're learning to develop social skills of how to share, care, give, take. You play with toys, but you share those toys. Playgroup just teaches you basic life skills. Everybody has done that. Then you've done a lower KG, then you've done a nursery, then you've done a lower KG, then you've done an upper KG. Then you come to grade 1. By the time you come to grade 1, you've done 4 years of education, which are not counted anywhere. So your 10 begins in class 1, so 4 years prior to that have not gone into your records at all. Now, when I say 5 years, the first 5 years are 3 years of this nursery KG levels and 2 years of class 1 and class 2. That makes your foundational 5 years. Okay? Then class 3, 4 and 5 are called preparatory years. They are preparing you for something higher. 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8 are middle school. And then 9, 10, 11, 12 come together as high school. Right now, all of you also know that you are still in high school. Your board is higher secondary board. Right, so you are still there. Now that means 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 makes it already 15 years of education. And then you will do a graduation of either 3 or 4 years. So you are comfortably well beyond the 16 years required for you to apply anywhere abroad. So when you are seeking admission to foreign universities after graduation, you have definitely completed 16 years of education in India. And that's what internationalization is also talking about. Leadership and development, governance are two factors that are more to do with how the teaching of this is going to be. Because we all want to emerge as teachers, we all therefore want to be leaders, setting our benchmarks. Governance is how we will handle all this and implement all of this. Interestingly, the second last point, which is digital learning. When did you start using a mobile phone, students, young students? From the time you were able to hold something in your hand. From the time you were able to hold something in your hand, you were holding the remote or the mobile phone. Right? Every one of us uses this little device that we have to scroll and see what is available on which site at a good price, where can I order from, food, commodities, clothes, whatever else you want. So what are you doing? You're doing some online shopping. When you do online shopping, after you exit from that site, the next time you open it, something similar pops up because now somewhere somebody has understood and is marking what is it that you are searching for and is giving you feeds for that. Has it ever occurred to all of us that this can be one of the professions that we can get into and develop? If somebody is giving a field, why can't that somebody not be me? I can work on it and put the field, make my income from these kind of online works. That's one example. The other example is, I want to do something that's not offered in the college that I have registered in. It's being offered maybe in some other college outside of Mumbai, maybe in Delhi, maybe anywhere else in India. And I want to have access to that course. Can I do it? Yes, with open and distance learning, you can certainly do it. So that's called open and distance learning, or ODL. And what happens is, when you do register for a course, you complete that course, take an exam, you will be awarded credits for that exam. those credits go into your bank account. So those you can accumulate these credits from different sources of education and put it into your account and then say, all right, I have got these many credits and therefore I am now ready to reach that particular level of education that is matched with the number of credits that you have. And finally is holistic education. What is holistic education is, if I am good in music, if I am good in dance, if I am good in theatre, if I am good in sports, then why do I have to treat it as an extracurricular activity? That's how we call it today. In today's terminology, it's called extracurricular. Why can it not be a part of curriculum? I don't want to study mathematics, I want to play. Can it be done? In today's system, it can't be done. In the NEP, it can be done. You can say, I don't want this, I want this. So look at why I am saying student-centric. I want admission in Podar College, but I don't want subject A. Instead of subject A, I'm going to excel in sports and I'm going to earn my credit through that. I don't want subject B, because instead of subject B, I'm going to take an online course offered in Kanpur. That interests me. I don't want subject C, because I want to do a language that is offered by my neighboring college. Can you do it? Yes, NEP allows you to do that. So what are you doing? Therefore, you are doing what you want to do. You are doing everything that you are good in, and still not missing out on your degree. That's the beauty of what NEP 2020 is all about. Can we shift to the next slide? Yes. So this is what I was talking to you about. These are how the levels are matched, and I'll just quickly go through it. So when you, after class 12, when you enter the degree program, it's for 1 year, you are at the level that you have been slated at is level 4.5. UG certificate means you have to earn 40 credits for a certificate of undergraduation. Now imagine a case where after the first year or second year, a student has to drop out of education for some reason. Okay? Second year become करके छोड़ दी पढ़ाई. जॉब ढूंढने गया या जॉब ढूंढने गई. किसी ने पूछा तुम्हारा क्वालिफिकेशन क्या है? जवाब क्या दोगे? You can't say SY become dropout. है ना? क्या बोलोगे? 12वीं पास. तो वो जो 2 साल किए हैं उसका अकाउंट कहाँ है ही नहीं. Right? So here what happens is first year में on completion of the first year you are eligible to get a certificate. Then you are saying that your first year जो complete किया है उसके भी मायने हैं. So it's not only 12वीं पास but it is first year complete. उसका certification है आपके पास 40 credits done. NEP 2020 and all our colleges have introduced the semester system. You know that. That is every semester you have to earn credits. So ये जो 40 credits दिख रहे हैं वो 20 credits for semester 1 and 20 credits for semester 2. Okay? You go to next level. Second year is UG diploma. अब certificate तो हो गया first year करके, अब second year में जाओगे तो second year का diploma हो जाता है. Undergraduate diploma 80 credits, 40 for first year, 40 for second year. Third year में जाओगे तो again 40 credits get added. It's a 3-year degree course. 40 plus 40 plus 40, minimum 120 credits. Now, NEP allows that students can do a 4-year degree course. There are of course certain eligibility benchmarks that you have to meet, but you can do a 4-year degree course. That will be called a degree or undergraduate degree or bachelor's with honors or bachelor with honors in research. अब ये थर्ड ईयर करके जो निकल जाते हैं उनको सिर्फ डिग्री मिल जाएगी. फोर्थ ईयर करके जो आएंगे उनको ऑनर्स का टैग भी मिल जाएगा. So that is how the industry will also differentiate between a 3-year and a 4-year program. Typically as of now 3 साल के बाद बैचलर की डिग्री मिल जाती है और उसके बाद 2 साल पीजी करते हो तो पीजी डिग्री मिलती है. So it's 3 plus 2. Now if you do 4 years of UG, you can do 4 plus 1. So 1 साल में आपका पीजी भी हो जाएगा, right? And go down to the last one now. There are students who will do the 4th year. They are more research oriented. They are good academically advanced, and so therefore they want to say, now I want to now do a PhD. In the existing system, after your graduation, you can't do a PhD directly. You have to do a post graduation also. This NEP 2020 allows for a good graduate to jump directly to a PhD without doing a post-graduation. So if there is an aptitude for research, then that research aptitude can be taken further. Next please. Alright, so how does these credits work? I told you every year it is 20 credits that you have, 40 credits you have to earn, 20 per semester. So if you are doing a 3-year degree program, it's 120 credits that you have to do, out of which minimum 50% have to be from your core subjects. Commerce students sitting in this auditorium, your core subjects are accountancy and commerce. So 50% of 120 3 years credits have to be from the commerce and accountancy realm. But that is a mix and a combination of theory and practical. I'm sure all of you know that wherever accounting is done, in whichever company you talk about, whether you talk about chartered accountants, or you talk about banks, or you talk about financial institutions, or you talk about any other corporate world, the accounts department is working on a software called Tally. Are you aware of it? Yes. How many of you are aware of it? Can you just raise your hands? Aware of Tally? How many of you know how to work on Tally? So what NEP is going to do is bring in a practical aspect that will tell you that this is your theory, this is how books of accounts have to be maintained, and this is what actually happens in the world outside. So that's the practical and the theory aspects that will be matched. So vocational skills, skill enhancement, these are skills that you have to learn. आप BCom करके यहाँ से निकलोगे और BCom करने के बाद ऑफिस में जाओगे और ऑफिस में भी बोलोगे मैंने टैली कभी नहीं किया, मैंने एडवांस्ड एक्सेल कभी नहीं किया, मैंने वो फॉर्मूले कभी यूज नहीं किए, तो ये तो चलने वाली बात नहीं है ना. तो वो तो सीखना जरूरी है. It's better that you learn it now when you are in college as a part of your curriculum rather than learn it afterwards. Specialized training करने से अच्छा है कि अभी while you are doing your graduation उसका सीख लो. So this is where the 50% core component of your main subjects come in. बाकी के 50% कहाँ से आएंगे? Like I told you, language करना है language करो, music करना है करो, dance करना है करो, sports करने हैं करो, whatever other activities you have, it can be ability enhancement, it can be value education, it can be life skills, जो भी बहुत सारे opportunities हैं that can all add to the remaining 50%. So that means you have all kinds of skills with you and your core competency with you that makes your personality a well-rounded or holistic personality. Sara hai aap. All the kinds of teachings that you need will be there with you. One of those points there is called IKS. IKS stands for Indian Knowledge System. That's what I told you about. Where is our cultural heritage known to us? It gets to us through IKS. Again, I address this to my college commerce students. I'm saying the same thing to you. We're talking about India was a rich country, सोने की चिड़िया, बहुत व्यापार होता था हमारे देश से, बहुत import and बहुत export. तो उन लोगों ने books accounts नहीं लिखे क्या? लिखी होंगी ना? कैसे लिखी होगी? Debit credit, the way you do it. But there must be some system of accounting. All traders and all businessmen have a system of accounting which you know कितना आना है और कितना जाना है, इतना तो हिसाब रखना ही जरूरी है ना for any kind of business. Alright, take another example. Today when you need extra money for setting up a business, for expanding a business, you go to a bank to apply for a loan, the bank checks your credentials and gives you a loan. उस जमाने में बैंक थी क्या? There was no State Bank of India that you could go and apply a loan to, but then people still had the processes of borrowing, of lending, maintaining records. Whoever lent money knew किससे कितना पैसा आना है, कब आना है. There was a system. How many of us as commerce and accounts students, how many of us know these systems? सुना है. There's a difference between knowing about it and there's a difference about knowing it. All of us know about it. Few of us know that system. So what is IKS? IKS talks about it very generic. All Indians need to know some things about India that we are proud about, and course-wise, program-wise, we need to know specifics about what is there in our cultural heritage that relates to the core faculty that I am in. So if a person is studying chemistry, the person studying chemistry must know how metals were found in ancient past. Again, see, everybody knows सिक्के हुआ करते थे पुराने ज़माने में. वो सिक्के कौन से मेटल से बनते थे, कैसे बनते थे? सॉफ्ट प्योर गोल्ड के बनेंगे तो टूट जाएंगे, तो कुछ तो मिक्सचर होगा, एलॉय होता होगा. So what are that alloys? So that means they knew how much gold to combine with which other metal. So there is so much of this kind of knowledge that we need to know about, and we need to be aware and be proud about. That's where we're talking about ideas. And of course, co-curricular courses on sports, music, fine arts, visual arts, performing arts, and so on. I'll just give you an example of this and say. We began this program with a street play performed by students of my college, Guru College of Commerce. They are all students who are doing their BCom, bachelor's in accounting finance, bachelor's in financial management, IT, but they are all theatre enthusiasts and theatre lovers. So for every performance that they do outside of college, whether they take part in a competition, whether they did it today, wherever they are going to do, they will be earning credits for it. So their credits for all of these things are being deposited into their bank, ABC accounts, APAR IDs that you would call. So that's how this whole exercise is going to be. Next please. Okay, go to next. Sorry. Next. Yeah. I skipped 2 slides because they were very specifically talking about how NEP is related to engineering and technology, and I don't think people here are really interested in engineering and technology, but let's come to this. So, what is it that we are talking about? Student centricity was the focus, and how will it happen? It's flexible. Now you have the choice to do what you want to. You have the choice to decide whether you want to, pick from different subjects, from different baskets that are available, from different courses that are available, from different institutions that are there. So you can pick and choose and customize your form of education. That's where the flexibility comes in. You can decide whether you want to do a 3-year or a 4-year course. So that's again a flexibility for you. 3 years BCom or 4 years BCom honors program. That's your choice. Multi-institutional, you can decide whether you want to do online and college, this college and the neighboring college or any other college. So multi-institutional is absolutely possible. When I did this in my own college, I had a question that came from a student. Ma'am, are you really wanting to say that we can be admit students of MCC and maybe students of some other college? Yes, you can. Your core has to be from one college, your others can be from other institutions of your choice. So that's the multi-institutional that we're talking about. I told you also, I'll give you an example of how Somebody might want to leave after first year or second year. So that's what is called multiple entry, multiple exit. You can come in and you can go out, and you can come in and you can go out as many times as you want, as long as you finish your degree course in minimum 3 years and a maximum period of 7 years. So you have that flexibility of between 3 years to 7 years for your degree. We know that in the Indian knowledge system, there are 16 Vidya Shakhas prescribed or found in the various texts of ancient India. 16 Vidya Shakha and 64 Kala. What are those kalas that you can talk about? You can talk music, painting, dance. सगळे कलेचे प्रकार आहेत. Then you can do subjects like chemistry or mathematics. Vocational courses such as carpentry. Professional fields such as medical science, engineering, and soft skills such as communication, debates, and discussions. प्राचीन भारतातील मोठमोठ्या व्यक्तींचे खूप व्याख्याने आहेत, वादविवाद बद्दलचे आपण ऐकून आहोत. So, तर्कबुद्धी was so strong, intellect was so strong, reasoning was so strong that there were hours and hours of debate. You can only do hours and hours of debate when you are strong in language and you are strong in the subject matter that you are debating on. Otherwise, there is no basis to what debates you will engage. So all of this is what we want to bring into the system once more. Can we move on, please? Alright, so these are some examples. Have a look at it. Names that are put there are only because they are common names. We don't identify anyone as a student, but you see one person here called Suresh, who was probably a good sports person. He was maybe a good hockey player, a good kabaddi player, in your case maybe a good cricketer. And he wanted to do computer engineering and pursue a sport. Again, this was the point that we talked of or we showcased when we did the street play. Most of us, and I am now addressing the parents who are sitting here, most of us tell our children, "Pahle abhyas." We all come from middle class families. We all believe that our middle class values want our children to receive education to make them employable. And for a long time, pursuing a career in music or sports or whatever was very difficult to turn into a career. So we always said, "हे सगळं ठीक आहे, बाजूला ठेवायचं, पॅशन आहे, आवड म्हणून कर, छंद म्हणून कर, कमवण्यासाठी डिग्री असली पाहिजे." So there's a dilemma now. I want to do this, I'm good in this, and you will see for the last 15-20 years, sports has also opened up in such a way that if you're talking about like a sport like kabaddi, we have so many people who are now able to play it at a professional level and earn decent income out of it. I'm not talking about cricket, okay? Because the incomes are not just decent, they are way above. When we're talking about kabaddi, and we're talking like this because something like pro kabaddi now is so commonly seen. Right? So be somebody who has that passion in that. Now I'll extend that a little bit also. You don't need to be a player. You can be a person passionate in that game, but you can also be a part of the sports management. You can be a part of a support system for that player, data analysis, and you will see every player now has his or her set of people who will analyze how they run, how they walk, how they stand, what is their stance, how can it improve. पूरा detailed analysis हो जाता है. वो कौन करता है? कोई तो भी है ना, who understands the technology behind it and does all of it. So you can be a part of that. Nutrition is so much of a part of sports now. क्या खाना चाहिए, कितना प्रोटीन खाना चाहिए, कितना एक्सरसाइज करना चाहिए, कब करना चाहिए. There's so much. So there are so many careers that can be. So you can combine Your core degree with all of these allied careers. Somebody who is good in music, she wants to do a BA in instrumental music. Now, this girl, Sushma, who is passionate about BA instrumental music. Satar Vadya, let's say, for example. So she is playing the strings, but those strings are vibrating, they create a resonance, there are some sound waves. तो वो कैसे अच्छा होगा? So if she understands certain basic laws of physics, she will be able to improve her own performance better. So that's a combination that she can do music, instrumental music with physics. Commerce students, all of you, like I gave you an example, e-commerce is something that you can do, logistics, supply chain management, these are all fields open for commerce students. And somebody with analytical chemistry can do a hands-on handling of high-end, expensive instruments that are otherwise not available in any regular college laboratories. Yeah. This is talking about how the multiple entry exit comes in, how multi-institutional approach can be taken. So somebody who needs to leave education for unfortunate reasons can come back once the financial crisis is tided over. Look at the second example. The second example talks about a girl called Archana, who finds that she's got interest in subjects that are taught in 3 different colleges. So can she say or should she say कि बस एक ही कॉलेज में मिल जाऊंगी बाकी 2 इंटरेस्ट में छोड़ दूंगी? Now NEP allows her to pursue her interest the way she wants to. So she can take admission to core in one college and maybe courses from somewhere else. And the last one is what I told you, after graduation a direct jump to PhD. So this is all possible. If somebody had told me about all of this and somebody had told all of us as teachers that this is all possible 10 years ago, we would have all laughed at this idea. ये कैसे हो सकता है? हमारा कॉलेज को क्या होगा? But I'm standing here today to tell you that this is all a reality. This is all what you should know is a reality because you have to make those choices now. Next. So to support all of this, these are some of the schemes that are floated by the government. One is there are several scholarship schemes. I think many of you know all the scholarships that are there. Government freeships, government scholarships, scholarships for the different categories of students. So you have to avail of all of these scholarships to help you to receive your education. Apprenticeship embedded degree program is something that has been started by the central government of India. The central government or all of us have realized that there are certain skill sectors where many positions are lying vacant because they don't have skilled persons to be employed there. Now the irony of it is all, we have so many students ready for employment, we have so many jobs that are lying vacant but we are not able to match the two. So what apprenticeship embedded degree program is a program floated by the government that identifies certain sector skills in India and says that these are areas where there is a dire need for trained people. And so academicians have to then give a degree, develop a degree that will train students to receiving that kind of education that will make them employable in that sector skill. Right? Now what does this mean? It is a 3-year program, apprenticeship embedded. That means apprenticeship is a part of your degree program. So otherwise normally you would be doing 3 years of education in college. Here you will do 2 years classroom education, 1 year apprenticeship in a company. This apprenticeship is a paid apprenticeship and a 3-year program with 1 year of apprenticeship which is done gives you the degree, and at the end of that if you are good in what you are doing and the company where you are working is happy with what you are doing, almost always the company offers you a job. So that soon after your graduation, you find that you have landed yourself with a job. This AEDP has been introduced by the government of Maharashtra and promoted very strongly by the University of Mumbai from this academic year. Have you introduced it, ma'am?
Yeah.
You have. So do we. So we have, I can talk about my college. We have a AEDP BCom in Banking, Financial Services and Insurance program. So 2 years classroom, 1 year apprenticeship and a paid apprenticeship. Internship is what you will do in between your semesters or maybe even during your semester in the hours that you are free, so that gives you hands-on training in industry, in what a workplace environment is all about. I've just talked about IKS. Swayam is an online portal run by the Government of India, where experts from different fields have put together courses that are offered online. You can register for any of these Swayam courses, go to the Swayam platform, have a look at all the courses that are offered on Swayam portal. You can select what you want, register for it, attend lectures, all this is free. Attend those lectures. If at the end of it you wish to appear for an exam, then there is an examination fee, and then you can get a certificate of having completed your Swayam course. Once you have completed that Swayam course online, it's self-paced. So you can decide when you want to do it. Typically, all of you have afternoon college, 12:30 to 5:30 maybe. So you are in college attending 12:30 to 5:30 lectures. Swayam lectures you can do 12:30 to 5:30 a.m. Your choice. So you can, I know I'm talking to a generation who is awake from 12:30 to 5:30. People like us sleep. So if you are awake in those hours and you have your device with you or your iPad, laptops or whatever, Swayam is something that you can do. Take the Swayam course, come out with a certification, come back to college and say, ma'am, I have done the Swayam, give me credits for it. Your credits are deposited by Swayam into your ABC by college recognized. So that means you can do so many things on the Swayam platform. Mahaswayam is something that is done by the government of Maharashtra. So Swayam is a all India level platform. Mahaswayam is a platform offered for students of Maharashtra. PM Vidya Lakshmi loan scheme and Sathi is something I will take in the next 2 slides. Please change. So what is all this internships, apprenticeship all about? It's basically talking about developing entrepreneurial skills, employability skills, and that is possible through NATS. NATS means National Apprenticeship Training Scheme. So that trains you into what the industry demands. What has happened is, all of us, parents, families, relatives, society at large, कॉलेज में जो पढ़ाते हैं ना वो सब थियोरी होता है, उसका कहीं लाइफ में यूज ही नहीं होता है. जब जॉब करने जाओगे तो वो सारा भूल जाना पड़ता है, नई तरीके से सीखना होता है, बिकॉज कॉलेज में सब थियोरी होता है. So what we want to do is to match what the industry requires, what the academics will provide, and so that we will create better employable people. People who will have the skills that are needed in the industry. So it aims to bridge the gap between education and employment. And now I'm taking you to, stipends provided under NAP. Government certifies that for a undergraduate program, the minimum stipend given should be 9,000 rupees per month. I think that's a good enough amount. But, click once more please. But there are companies that give much more than that. And you will see this. Yahoo Software Development gives 87,000 rupees as stipend. Not to everybody and anybody, somebody who proves their worth and proves deserving. Look at the last one. Access Solutions Private Limited. It's an AI and an IoT in manufacturing. AI and IoT are terms I learned only in the last 1 decade. I didn't know there was anything called AI. All I knew in my college times were A and I were two vowels in the English alphabet. A and I make a lot of sense now. And this is where I said, you are learning it, you already know what AI is, and Gen Beta will grow up with that. So, when you have all of this, you need to be on top of it. You need to be willing to learn, willing to relearn, take up projects, to be hands-on in all of this, so that you will always stay employable wherever you are. Next. Yeah, this is what I talked about with Swayam. Now, look at the fourth point. Credits are recognized, as I said, they get deposited into your ABC accounts, and your college will also give you credit. But what the beauty is, 40% of all your courses you can take through Swayam. I think all of them, when I talked about focus areas and I talked about governance, colleges also have to re-adapt to students who will be in class taking our courses, students who will be registered with us and be doing Swayam courses. So there's a lot of realignment that we will also be required to do, and that's where Swayam allows you to do it. And it's a very, very interactive learning environment that's created, because you get to learn from the best of people across our country. Next, please. Swayam Plus is online courses more for the technical aspects of it, okay? More hands-on than theoretical. PM Vidya Lakshmi loan scheme is what I would quickly run through. PM Vidya Lakshmi loan scheme is available to all students who find it difficult to support their education because the finances involved are pretty high. I'll give you an example and you'll understand that. Go to next, please. Yes. So take this example. This is an example of a student who wants to study in the best of the B schools that we know. IIM Ahmedabad. On an average, the cost of this is about 25 lakhs as tuition fee, plus hostel, plus you will require a laptop and other supporting devices. You will also require to be paying for your food, that is mess services, and there are so many other sundry expenses involved as well. Totally, it would be a package of over 30 lakh rupees that you will be required to spend. Deserving students, academically bright students who may cut into the merit list of IIM may not be able to afford it. So PM Vidya Lakshmi loan scheme will allow such students to apply for these loans, and these loans are collateral free, guarantor free, so that it becomes easily accessible. This is where we talk about accessibility of education. The other example is maybe for IIT Kanpur. Just in IIT, total expenses would be about 10 lakh. Again, all inclusive. So that's how one could apply for these loans. The next slide, go to the next slide. The next slide actually shows us calculations. Right now, you need not really worry too much about the calculation bit of it. What you need to know is that if you are interested in doing such a thing, then you need to get into the details of the PM Vidya Lakshmi loan scheme and look at how it will apply to you, and then begin your processing of those documents accordingly. Move. The last point is about Sathi. Sathi is self-assessment, test and help for entrance examinations. So many of us, so many students are appearing for entrance exams after class 12 or after their graduation. So what does Sathi do is, Sathi is a program developed by IIT Kanpur. It has brought together experts in different domains who have developed courses, lectures, short, small modules that help a student to prepare for the entrance exam that they want to. And what are these kinds of helps? You can listen audiovisual films are available. There's a big audiovisual library. There is a one-on-one discussion. There are practice tests. There are doubt-solving sessions. There are sessions that will analyze how good you are or where you need to develop. So this is where it all happens. This happens with you sitting at home and learning from the best of people across our country. So why should we not reach out to people maybe in different parts of the country but who possess that expertise and with whom we would never have been able to establish a contact had it not been for Sathi program. So these are all facilities made available to you. This is a combination of classroom learning, outside classroom learning, online learning. It's all about understanding that the process of learning never comes to an end. It just stays on and on and on. It's such a big ocean that if you decide to dip into it, you need to know how deep it is and how much you can go. So student centricity comes back to this. In this big ocean, how deep are you willing to go? How ready are you to go deep? Let me just share this. I'm going to end my talk with this. Let me just share with you one. Building careers, carving out a life is an individual plan. It's not a picnic जहाँ हम सब साथ जाएंगे और सब साथ आएंगे. पिकनिक में क्या होता है, सब साथ में जाते हैं, मजाक करते हैं, सब अपने अपने घर लौट जाते हैं. Career is not साथ में जाना, साथ में आना. Career is about what I want. What am I? What do I want? What can I do? How do I realize it? And to do all of that, you need to be informed about. There was a time when students would join either faculties, arts, science, commerce or any college because सबने किया, मैंने भी किया. Parents ने बोला, मैंने भी किया. Now is the time when I need to know, students need to know, I want to do this and this is how I will go about doing it. So my dear student friends, those in class 12, you have a couple of months more to do a little more of information search on all of this. Make an informed decision about what you want to do in your pursuit of careers. Do not do something because you were not informed or you did not know. Always make a decision knowing fully well that this is what I am, this is what my strengths are, and I'm going to use my strengths in the best possible way. So my best wishes to all of you, and I hope that you do think about all that I have had to say and make your careers accordingly. Thank you so much. This is open for questions. If you have any questions, and if I can answer them, I will be happy to answer them. Yes.
Ma'am, one question I would like to ask is this: so with this pattern of 10 plus 2, so now will 11th and 12th be a part of the school curriculum?
No. Right now, this batch will probably go like this, but the change will come. Even now, it is a part of school, madam. When we talk about administration, it is still part of the school and higher secondary department, 11th and 12th. So it probably will stay like that for some time to come till we are able to understand how the shift will take place. So as of now, it stays. But the change is being, see, the school connects to 2.0 is one of the first steps to initiating that change.
Another question is, if I want more information of Sathi, where will it be available on Mumbai University?
Yes, type in Sathi, you should get it.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Do you want the mic? You want the mic?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an insightful session. I'm very sure all the students over here, all your doubts are now clear. We all are now NEP ready. Am I right? I can't hear it. Yes, I understand you are worried, very hungry. It's the time for you to break. But still, are we all ready? Okay, I hope this session was very useful to you. You will have noted down things. And now you are going to make the best use of the knowledge what you have gained today. Thank you so much. Before we go for the formal vote of thanks, I may request you all to scan the QR code, which you will be seeing it on the screen. We'll have volunteers there to help you out. Scan the QR code and you will find the feedback form. I request everyone to please fill in the feedback form before leaving this main hall. In case anybody is not able to scan it, you can just raise your hand. Anybody who wants to come ahead and do it, it's okay. If anybody wants to come up. Just an announcement, all those who have not signed on the attendance sheet, kindly sign the attendance sheet which is rotating around over here. With this, now I welcome Vice Principal Junior College, Dr. Major Madhav Gavande for the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. I take this opportunity to extend our gratitude and thank everyone present here for this program. First of all, let me extend my thanks to our principal, Dr. Vinita Pimpale, madam, for organizing this School Connect 2.0 program for creating awareness about the NEP 2020 and various career opportunities available in new education policies. I also extend my sincere gratitude and thanks to our chief guest and resource person, Dr. Sonali Ednegar Madam, Principal, Mulund College of Commerce, College Mulund for accepting and coming over here and addressing us on NAP 2020. Madam, your words of wisdom are very well and received by all of us. Thank you for informative presentations. I also put on record the efforts taken by organizing committee to make this program happen smooth and successful. I also thank them for that. Our junior college and degree college teachers who were present here, I convey my thanks to them also. Last but not the least, I thank all students and parents who have participated in this program and making a successful. Thank you everyone once again, and NSS volunteer also. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Just 1 minute. I hope everyone has filled up the feedback form. Yeah, thank you so much for being with us. I may now request everyone to please rise up for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जय जय मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you everyone. Have a good day.